Every time we do predictions videos here on YouTube, we get incredible numbers. Very, very, very big numbers. And then we also get comments like this saying, you need to make more of these videos. These are the best prediction videos I have ever seen on YouTube. Do one for every round. And we listen. So we are doing one for every round. We did the round of 16 one. Now we're doing the quarterfinals. We'll do semifinals and we'll do the final, of course. Now for the round of 16, we also got comments trying to make fun of me because I only got half of my picks right for the round of 16. But understand, getting half of them right is not bad. It's just average. But I get it. A lot of you hold me to a higher standard because usually I get 80 to 90% of them right. With that said, today I'm going to give you my quarterfinals prediction. And I will 100% redeem myself by getting all of them right. Hello, hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo and welcome to Chapéu Football. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Just do that right now. Help us hit maybe 30,000 subscribers. Are we close? I don't even know anymore. But anyhow, today we have the 2026 World Cup quarterfinals prediction. I'm going to quickly recap the round of 16, go through all the games and what happened. Then after that, I'll provide you with my quarterfinals prediction and my reasoning for every single pick. And this video is brought to you by you. By dropping a like and commenting the video, subscribing, you're supporting the channel. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Right now, let's roll the intro and start our predictions. All right. So the first thing I want to do in this video is go through the bracket and the results and what happened in the round of 16, right? We'll do a quick recap of the round of 16. Then we can finally go to the predictions of the quarterfinals because it's important to talk about what happened in the round of 16 because that's going to play a role on my decision of who advances in the quarterfinals. Now, mind you, all I ask you to do right now is to drop a like in the video. I could have been an astronaut. I could have been a surgeon. I could have even been a billionaire. Instead, I chose to be here. It's true. It's true. So now let's go through the round of 16 here real quick. We're going to go and talk about this. So Paraguay and France. So France advanced and they knocked out Paraguay. That was a game I got the prediction right. And I actually got the outcome right, but I feel like it would have been, I thought it would be a little bit easier for France. But Paraguay for that game, they brought some Libertadores ball. They were punching, hitting, kicking the crap out of the French players. They were also bunkering in a low block and just defending like hell. It was literally Libertadores ball for Paraguay. And honestly, they held France for much longer than I expected. And ultimately, Kylian Mbappe scored off a penalty kick and France advanced, rightfully so. France was most certainly the better side, but Paraguay really, really made it tough. The other game we had here was Canada versus Morocco. And this is an interesting one, right? Because for a good portion of this game, Canada, I wouldn't say they played better, but they played slightly better than Morocco for a good portion of the game, Canada. But ultimately, quality won. And Morocco has more quality than Canada. They have more fight, more grit in them. They have a better coach. Jesse Marsch, to me, not a good coach. Okay, he's an American coach. We know Jesse Marsch very well. A little bit of a clown. A little bit of a clown, too. I don't like calling people clowns. But to him, I think it's fair to say with Jesse Marsch. But anyhow, at the end of the day, Morocco beat them 3-0, right? When push came to shove, Morocco was the team that advanced. And Jesse Marsch, after the game, said that Canada was better. And I'm going to say this, okay? Listen, my fellow American Jesse Marsch, you cannot say that you were better than a team when you lost 3-0. I'm sorry. There's no way to spin this in a positive manner. Like, there's just no way. Like, you lost 3-0. You were not better than Morocco. You're not better than Morocco. Okay, so Morocco advanced just because they are literally much better than Canada. Quality, experience, everything. On the other side of the bracket, this is where things start to get a little bit sad for some of our viewers here, including myself. It was actually a very bad round for me, right? The United States and Brazil got eliminated, but we'll talk about the U.S. in a second. Brazil played Norway, and I talked a lot about this game, right? I made a whole video. The video before this one, I talked about this game between Brazil and Norway, where ultimately the big difference here was Norway has Erling Haaland, and Haaland is ruthless. He is literally ruthless. While the Brazilian players, they just don't have it anymore, man. Like, Haaland is ruthless like Ronaldo was, R9, like Romário was. The dude doesn't give a flying shit. I was going to say the F word, but you see, I held it back. Um, and Brazil played scared. I got it. I understood why Ancelotti took that approach of being more reactive. And Brazil had opportunities to score, right? If Bruno Guimarães converts the penalty kick, Brazil probably wins this game, right? And then Ancelotti would have been a genius. I talked a lot about this game in that video. I'm not going to expand upon it. I will be making a video about the downfall of Brazilian football, so keep an eye out for that. That'll probably come out right after the World Cup. Okay, I want to close the World Cup coverage first. But again, Norway came to play proper football, proper soccer. They controlled the game and they won because of Erling Haaland. The guy's just ruthless. He's deadly. He's probably the best center forward in the world alongside Harry Kane. In Brazil, they have they need to go back to their essence. They need to do a lot of soul searching right now, Brazil. There's a lot to think, a lot to talk about there, and I'm sure I'll talk about it here on YouTube, but that's ultimately what happened. Then you go to the other game, which was England versus Mexico. And let me tell you, England versus Mexico was one of the best games in the World Cup. One of the best games in the World Cup. This game, I had England losing to Mexico in my predictions. And to be fair, my prediction wasn't too far off. Mexico outplayed England. The problem when you predict an underdog win, like Mexico beating England, it is an underdog beating a better team, is that the better side, like England, they don't need many goal scoring opportunities to punish the opponent. While Mexico, a team with less quality than England, needs to create more in order to actually get a goal. So England didn't have to create as much. And they got two quick goals in the first half, got a 2-0 lead. Mexico was able to get a goal and cut it back. England got a third goal in the second half. Mexico got the second goal and also off a penalty kick. That was a very iffy penalty kick, by the way. And England had a player that got a red card. But that game was epic in the Estadio Azteca. And honestly, I'm not a fan of England, but props to them. They pulled a big win. That was only the third win in Mexican history in the Azteca. And England pulled a massive win away, hostile crowd, altitude. They found a way to win. And what scares me about this is that's what champions do. And I'm not saying England's going to win the World Cup, but to say they don't have a legit shot would be insanity right now. England has a legit shot. Unfortunately, they do. Now, mind you, I'm going to talk about England and Norway very soon. That's a very tough game for both teams. I mean, every game's tough now, even France and Morocco. We'll talk about that too. Down here at the bracket, we went down now on the same right side of the bracket. Argentina defeated Egypt in a game that to me was disgusting. Egypt got a 2-0 lead. They had a goal that was disallowed, which was ridiculous. I'm not going to show the play here because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but it was ridiculous. They gave Argentina a penalty that was very soft early in the game. I think it was 1-0 Egypt at the time. Messi wasted it because the ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. That probably wasn't a penalty kick, but they keep giving Argentina penalty kicks. And then on top of that, there was a goal from Egypt that was disallowed that they just went back like 30, 40 seconds and called a random ass foul on the offensive side of the field. That was also kind of a very soft call. Like you could make a case for it, but it was so soft. And I'll say this, regardless of where you stand on that goal disallowed against Egypt and the penalty for Argentina, I'll say this. If it wasn't Argentina, they would not have made those calls. I don't care what you say. That is true. That is a fact. Okay. And then ultimately, Argentina got this comeback win. They were down 2-0, and there were other iffy calls during the game, but I'm not going to dive into all of that. So Argentina got the 3-2 win. And there's nothing we can do about it. They advance and they're going to face Switzerland. Switzerland defeated Colombia on penalty shootouts. And let me tell you, Colombia's downfall in this World Cup was their finishing. Colombia was one of the top performers. They were playing very well in the World Cup. Defensively, their offense, their midfield, everything about Colombia, the intensity, everything was good. And they wasted some really good chances against Switzerland. I can't remember which Colombian player it was, but he wasted a 1v1 at the goalkeeper. He shot over the crossbar during extra time. Colombia was extremely wasteful throughout the World Cup. Their finishing was the problem. Ultimately, that was their downfall. And they went to penalty shootouts and they lost to Switzerland. And now Switzerland will have to face Argentina. If I'm not mistaken, Switzerland and Argentina faced each other in the 2014 World Cup. 2014. I can't remember if it was around a 16 or quarterfinals, but Switzerland and Argentina, they played in a World Cup knockout game. I think even Di Maria was the one that won Argentina that game. It was a very tough game for Argentina. On the other side of the bracket here down below, We had Spain defeat Portugal with a late goal. The goal scored, I think, in the 91st minute, and they retired Cristiano Ronaldo from World Cups. Cristiano Ronaldo is done. His career is spectacular, generational, but ultimately his World Cup career is not very good for Cristiano Ronaldo. And Portugal's out of the World Cup. Spain played a little bit better than Portugal, but it just wasn't a great game, right? Just wasn't a great game. Spain wasted maybe two good chances. Portugal, not as many. And then Spain got a 1-0 win. Not much to add there. Spain is the better side, and they advanced. United States and Belgium. It was one of the most embarrassing U.S. performances I have seen in my lifetime. As someone that covers the U.S. national team on Tactical Manager TV, this was a disgusting performance, a disgusting effort from the United States. They played scared like coward little kids. It was an embarrassment. The United States was playing very well in the World Cup with intensity, with purpose, creating. This game, they didn't create anything. The goal they scored was super lucky. Malik Tillman shot a free kick, it deflected on the hit the wall, and it went in. Belgium scored four. They could have scored a lot more. The U.S. wanted Balogun back. They got Balogun back. Balogun played. That wasn't enough. It was an embarrassing performance from the U.S. Christian Pulisic, where was he? Where the hell was he? It felt like he didn't even play. Okay. And Belgium even did the Trump dance at the end with Lukaku when he scored the fourth goal in added time. Belgium, rightfully so, made fun of the United States. They earned it. They destroyed the United States at home. They won. I had the United States advancing here because of how the US was playing and how Belgium was playing. Belgium was very shaky in the World Cup. They tied Iran, they tied Egypt, they beat New Zealand. That doesn't count, but they should have lost to Senegal. And the United States played like coward little kids. Belgium played like real men, and they beat the United States. They beat the crap out of the United States. It was embarrassing, and I was devastated by it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The third goal from Belgium too. How is Matt Freeze even a professional goalkeeper? That the American goalkeeper. It was unbelievable. And to anyone saying, "Oh, I wish we had played Senegal," any American saying that, guys, the way we played the United States, the way we played against Belgium, Senegal would have destroyed us, even though we beat them in a friendly before the World Cup. Um, De Bruyne didn't even play. Doku was on the bench. Like there are no excuses there. But with that said, now we can get to our predictions. So let me get the bracket up here where we can make our picks. So as I said, here is one bracket with France and Morocco up here, and then Spain and Belgium. The winner of each one of these games will face each other. So let's go up here and start with France versus Morocco. By the way, if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Please subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. Subscribe right now. It's a great way to support us, and let us know your predictions in the comment section down below. So, France and Morocco. We now know that the 2022 World Cup was not a fluke for Morocco. Morocco is a legit team, a team that I underestimated Morocco for the most part, right? This is actually a good team. They have some fight in them. They don't go down easily. And what we learned from France versus Paraguay is that you can contain France. You have to play dirty. You have to be physical. You have to sit deep. You have to be able to soak pressure. But if you want to beat France, you have to be able to counterattack. Okay, you have to be able to counterattack. So Paraguay did a great job defending against France, containing France. All right. Morocco's defense is better than Paraguay, slightly. Morocco has a better goalkeeper. Even though the Paraguayan goalkeeper, he is brilliant. Morocco can actually punish you on a counterattack. And the problem with this game for me is I don't want to get cute and just pick an upset to pick it, but I've been thinking about this long and hard. That's what she said. That's what she said. Sorry, I had to do it. Um, and picking between France and Morocco is very tough because if Morocco puts out a game plan similar to Paraguay, they have the quality to punish France, right? I I think Morocco is going to pull a historic win here. I think finally someone will actually take down this French team. And I know Argentina did that in the final in the last World Cup, but I think France is not going to get three finals in a row. I think Morocco will knock out France. It'll be tough. It'll be a tight game, but I think is one of the few teams that can match up well against France is Morocco, and they'll get revenge from 2022. This is a bold pick, but I'm going to go with Morocco. I'm going to go with Morocco here. This is not going to be an easy game for France or for Morocco, but again, that's what my pick. The other one, and I hope you guys understood why I'm picking Morocco here. I think they can set up in a similar way from what we saw between Paraguay and France. And on top of that, I think Morocco just has more quality to actually punish France and not let France just go all in against them like they could against Paraguay, because Paraguay had absolutely no threat on the counterattack. It's different with Morocco. And I think also Morocco has a little bit better defenders, better quality, and Bono's a better goalkeeper and experience. So I have Morocco advancing. Spain and Belgium. Guys, this is an interesting one because the Belgium prior to the US game would get destroyed by Spain. And Spain is a title contender to me. Okay. The thing with Belgium is when they play the US, I think they played better than their normal level, and the US played below the US level. It was pretty obvious to me. The United States looked scared for no reason, right? So I think right here between Spain and Belgium, I'm not going to go too much into details. I just think that Belgium will very likely go back to their original setup. They lost Onana. He tore his ACL, their midfielder. Belgium, when they play the US, they prioritized athleticism. So they benched Venikin and they benched, what's his name? De Bruyne, and they went with more athletic midfielders. I think they're going to go back to their regular setup against Spain, and Spain will just out talent them. I think Spain will just out talent Belgium. They will control possession, Spain. They will create more. They have players that can actually win you games with a little bit more ease than the Belgian players these days. Danny Olmo, Lamine Yamal, of course. So I don't have much more to add here. I just think Spain is a better team, more talented, ready for these moments. They won the Euros, and Spain will knock out Belgium. So on one side, we have Morocco versus Spain. That would be an interesting semifinals, right? Especially with Lamine Yamal playing against Morocco. But if that happens, we'll talk about that on the semifinals predictions video. You guys let me know what you think. If you think Spain, if you think Morocco will knock out France, that is probably my bold pick. Now, here, Norway versus England. I want Norway to advance. And Erling Haaland, man, that is just one heck of a center forward. And then England, they have Harry Kane. That's another one heck of a center forward. The thing with it is both of these teams come in with a lot of momentum, right? Norway retired Neymar from the World Cup and they beat Brazil. That's a big deal. Anyone that knocks out Brazil, that's a big, big deal. And the other one here is England. They pulled a generational win against Mexico in the Azteca. So both of these teams have the momentum. England has more quality than Norway. But I'll say this. I think Haaland is a little bit better than Harry Kane, a little bit more deadly, even though Harry Kane is an incredible player, man. I wish Brazil had him. Um, and Norway has Martin Odegaard that can actually pull the strings, and he did that against Brazil. He made things happen in the midfield. In terms of defending, both of these sides, they lack, right? That's probably their weakness, their defense. England won't have their right back. He got a red card against Mexico. But I think for this game, I do think England will be able to control that midfield. They'll control the midfield better than what Brazil had against Norway, because I think Brazil let Norway play a little bit too much. And I'm expecting a lot of goals in this game between England and Norway. I would say like a 3-2 win or a 2-2 draw, and it goes to extra time. But I think England will defeat Norway. Unfortunately, I want England out, but I think England will knock out Norway. It'll be a tough game. It'll be close. And look at that. I clicked it for a random score. It put 3-2 England. I can see that score happening. I'm expecting a lot of goals. The difference here between these matchups is when Norway played Brazil, Brazil let Norway play. I don't think England's going to let Norway play. England will be far more ball dominant. They will probably have a much higher ball possession. And the other thing, too, that I don't think many people are talking about this is England actually got a cup coach, a cup manager, Thomas Tuchel. Like him or not, this guy knows how to go deep in knockout stages, Thomas Tuchel. So I have England knocking out Norway for this game. And then Argentina and Switzerland. Right here, I know I joke a lot about the refs helping Argentina, this and that. And this is a tough match. Argentina looked really shaky against Egypt, beating them 3-2. They also looked very shaky against Cabo Verde. Argentina could have easily lost to Cabo Verde or Egypt. So anyone saying Switzerland doesn't have a shot is insane. Switzerland 100% has a shot here. The problem is I don't think Switzerland has looked that good. Colombia was better than Switzerland. Switzerland also tied Qatar in the World Cup. They had good moments, bad moments. And even when you go back here to Switzerland's matchup with Algeria, they were better than Algeria, but I don't know, man. I haven't liked Switzerland too much in this tournament. I think they're going to make it tough for Argentina. Will Argentina get favorable calls from the ref? I hope not. I hope not. And Argentina is still very heavily reliant on Messi, right? That's the other thing, too. I just think, from what I've seen with the Argentine national team this World Cup and the previous World Cup, it takes more than a team like Switzerland to knock them out. So Switzerland has quality. They'll make it tough. But at the end of the day, Argentina will just out talent them or get some extra help and they will advance. I think Argentina will knock out Switzerland. This will not be Messi's last game in the World Cup or World Cup history. Argentina knocks out Switzerland. And we get another legendary semifinals here of two teams that have bad blood. These are two countries that don't like each other, Argentina and England. And honestly, I don't like them either. This game right here, Argentina and England, can we just eliminate both? Can we just send them both home? Right. But again, based on my predictions, the semifinals will be England versus Argentina, and the other side will be Morocco versus Spain. Now, I'm not going to give you my semifinals prediction. We have to wait and see what happens, and then we will do a preview and final predictions video. All I want to ask you to do right now is subscribe to the channel, help us grow. We've been growing very fast in this World Cup, but we want to continue this growth, continue this momentum. Drop a like in the video, and that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the semifinals match preview prediction. And don't forget to let me know your predictions in the comment section down below. Okay? Bye-bye.